All right, rent-free gang. Salute to all the subscribers. Salute to all the Patreon members, all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. You guys could do me a favor. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button. Check out the links in the description box below. And share this video. Now, without further ado, I have a very special guest. He was on last week. Now he's back again to tell us about his experience in Portugal. Sam, how's it going?
It's good. Good, Splash. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great. Like, I'm looking forward to this story because remember last week you was telling me how, man, if you liked my DR experience, man, I can't wait for you to hear the Portugal experience. So I'm all ears right now. And, we're going to take it from the top like we always do, pause. So, man, I can't wait. I already got the DR from that story saved on my list. Now I'm eager to hear about Portugal because I've always wanted to go to Spain, but a lot of people, they skip over Portugal and it's right there. So salute to Maurice Branch. All right, so take us from the top. So you booked a flight to go to Portugal. How long was the flight, and was it direct?
Yeah, it was a direct flight from Boston, so it took about maybe 5.5 hours, close to 6. So this was back in July. I went there. I was there for about 10 days. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this time you were there 3 days longer than you were in Portugal.
Yeah, longer than I was in the DR. Yeah.
Okay, so if you in Boston, 5 hours. So for me, I'm in Texas, so that might be about 7 to 8 hours direct flight. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad of a flight. Now, all right, you went over to Portugal. What city did you fly into?
So I flew into the city of Ponta Delgada. So that's on the Portuguese island of São Miguel. So São Miguel Island is a Portuguese island which is located in the Azores Autonomous Region in the Atlantic Ocean. So it's a series of islands that are owned by Portugal. So they're Portuguese islands. São Miguel is the largest island. So that's where I went to. I actually went there for my buddy's wedding, but I decided to make a vacation out of it and stay there for 10 days rather than just go one day for the wedding. So yeah, it was a good decision. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Damn, so you didn't even go to the mainland?
No, never went to the mainland. I was on the island the whole time, and it was fun. It was a really good time. I wish I could have stayed for a month.
Wow. So since you went on an island, it was probably pretty expensive, right?
No, actually, even if you go to the mainland in Portugal, whether you're in the capital city, Lisbon, or the other cities like Porto or Braga on the mainland, Portugal overall, from what I noticed and from what I've heard, it's not that expensive at all. In fact, it seems like prices there are lower than prices here in America because I noticed there's a lot of expats that are going to Portugal. They're going to São Miguel Island. They're in the Azores. They're in Lisbon, especially. And I think it's because of the lower cost of living that is attracting a lot of these expats. Yeah. Even like they say, the Azores, where the islands are, it's considered the Hawaii of Europe because there's a lot of surfing and stuff that goes on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of far from the mainland.
Yeah, it's pretty far. It's pretty far.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like the Hawaii of Europe. Now, population is about 67,000.
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
And São Miguel Island is actually the largest island in the Azores because the other islands surrounding it, like Fayal Island, Terceira Island, Santa Maria Island, Pico Island, these islands all make up the Azores Autonomous Region. And São Miguel Island, where I was, is the largest island in that region. There's other Portuguese islands, of course. Madeira Island is another Portuguese island. If you guys know the famous footballer or soccer player, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's actually from Madeira Island. He's Portuguese.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, I don't know too much about soccer, but I've seen him around.
Mm.
Okay. So you fly into Ponte Delgada at
Yes.
the airport. I'd imagine it's a small airport, ain't it?
Yes, very small, pretty easy to navigate because I ordered a rental car. So actually the rental car company actually sent a shuttle with a driver to meet me outside the airport and take me to the rental car location. So it's a really small airport, so it's pretty easy to navigate, especially with the signs. The signs are all in English, so you don't have to worry about that. And overall, most people at the airport speak good English too, which helps. So yeah, it'll be easy to get in and out, whether you're trying to figure out a taxi or you're renting a car. There's no Uber or Lyft over there, just so you know. So
Mm.
be prepared for that.
Oh, okay. That's it's good information right there. Now it's probably easy to get around, on this island than in the DR because people aren't driving as crazy as they do in the DR over on that island, are they?
I'm not gonna lie, some of them do drive a little crazy, so you got to be
Mm.
careful. But the DR is definitely worse, because like at least in Portugal, people respect like street lights. In the DR is not really happening. You know what I mean? Like I felt more comfortable driving over there in São Miguel Island, Portugal, than in the DR. But nothing happened, thank God. But still, like yeah, people do drive crazy. Yeah, but it's not as bad as the DR. And also, I would recommend renting a car because since it's an island, and if you want to explore outside the city, you're definitely going to need a car. Unless you want to book like a tourist excursion program that picks you up in like their shuttle company bus, you could probably do that. But I like the freedom of just renting a car and driving and exploring. So that's essentially what I did. So I would recommend it too for you brothers.
Now, is it like the opposite of America where the steering wheel's on the right hand of the car and you're driving on the opposite side of the road? Or is it
Nope.
the same?
No, just like America. Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's just the same. Yeah. Actually, in Europe, I think the only countries really that drive on the left is the UK and Republic of Ireland. That's it.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think any of the other European countries drive on the opposite side of the road. And like even outside Europe, I think Australia, the Bahamas, New Zealand, yeah, they drive on the opposite side of the road too. Yeah.
Okay. Now, prior to you getting on that plane, did you notice or would you be comfortable driving on the opposite side of the road?
Oh yeah, I definitely knew it. I did my research, but ooh, dropping the opposite side of the road, I don't know, Splash. Like it depends where I'm at. Like, okay, if I'm in Ireland, right? Like
Yeah.
I've talked to like people from Ireland, they recommended you should get a car for rental because if you want to really explore like the scenery, the coastline, all the different outdoor sites, you're definitely going to need a car. You're just going to have to get used to the steering wheel being on the opposite side and driving on the left side of the road. But if I'm going to London, I'm definitely not renting a car because like bro, London's crazy, bro. It's like trying to drive in New York. So
Mm.
like, yeah, I'm just doing the taxis and the Ubers. So it depends where I'm at. Then I decide if I was comfortable doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I've driven on the opposite side of the road, but I was like on a scooter in Thailand. So it was a little different. Like I wasn't driving in a car. I was in a scooter. So whether I'm in America or the UK or Thailand, I mean, the positioning on the scooter is still the same. It's
Mm,
just I'm on the opposite side of the street. So I had to get used to that, a little bit, but it wasn't that hard. But I'd imagine it's a lot more difficult in a vehicle. But
mm.
anyways, so you go to the island. What's the first thing you do? Did you book? I'm assuming were you in a hotel or Airbnb?
Yeah, I was in a hotel. You're gonna see hotels might be your best bet if you're going to Ponta Delgada. Because the thing is, okay, so Ponta Delgada is like the capital city of the island. It's the main city. Okay, like outside the city is nothing but towns and villages and stuff. So like basically all the action, all the bars, the nightlife, the restaurants, the cafes, museums, libraries, all that fun stuff is going to be right in the center of Ponta Delgada in the downtown area. So what you're going to want to do is do what I did. I booked a hotel. I stayed at the Grand Hotel, very nice 5-star hotel. There's a bunch of other hotels you can stay at that are 4-star, 3-star, but definitely stay as close to the center of the city as you can. Airbnbs are out there, but from what I've noticed, a lot of the Airbnbs are more outside the city. And some of these Airbnbs were like far outside the city. I'm talking like 50, 60 miles away. So that's not going to be really to your benefit. Yeah, I guess Airbnb is not popping as much on that island. But if you're going to Lisbon, the capital city, oh yeah, there's Airbnbs everywhere. So if you're going to the mainland, you're going to Lisbon, you're going to Porto, you're going to Braga, you're going to Coimbra, you could definitely get Airbnbs for sure. But in São Miguel Island and Ponta Delgada, you're going to want to look at a hotel. Yeah, hotel.
I'm looking at I'm looking at pictures at the Grand Hotel right now. Very nice hotel, upscale. You could tell like the food is real fancy, small portions.
Mm.
And how much per night were you spending at this hotel?
Oh goodness. Okay, so this was back in July. So I'm trying to think. It might have been maybe 280, 290 a night, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe close to 300. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was somewhere in that ballpark range. Mind you, I'm trying to remember because this was months back in July. But yeah, it was in that ballpark range.
Yeah, it looks like it. It definitely looks like it. Now, was the food like all you can eat, or was it? I guess they served food at certain times, and breakfast and stuff like that, or were you able to get food there all day, or was it like a cafe that you had to spend money at the bar or whatever when you wanted to eat something?
So they do have all you can eat breakfast. Breakfast is free. So it's all you can eat. It's served at certain times in the morning, 7 days a week. They do have a restaurant, I believe. I never sat down in the restaurant to eat, but it's like you order from a menu. It's not an all you can eat restaurant.
Mhm.
But that's obviously a separate charge. It's not included in your stay. And then also they do have a bar like on the first floor near the lobby. It's a really nice bar too. I didn't drink at the bar, but if you want to get a drink, you can get a drink there. Obviously, it's not included. You're gonna have to pay a separate charge for that. But yeah, yeah, those are the eating and drinking options.
Yeah, I could tell. Like a hotel like this will probably run you about half the price somewhere in America, but since you're on an island, everything seems like it's double. And rightfully so. It's a tourist attraction. I didn't even know about this island, tell you the truth. So, I'm not mad at them getting their coins. So you check into your hotel, and then what do you do afterwards?
Well, it's funny. As soon as I check in the hotel, I noticed the girls behind the desk are checking for me. So
Mm,
I was like, whoa, whoa, okay, whoa, this is very interesting. Like, I kid you not, Splash. Like, literally, I get out of the rental car, I park it in front of the hotel. One of the Bell lobby guys, he comes out and he said, oh, I can park the car for you in the garage. So he parks the car for me in the garage. I walk in with my luggage. There's two very dime looking Portuguese young ladies working behind the desk.
mm.
Walk in, they look at me, I look at them, they look up, they stop what they're doing, and they're just smiling and just staring. Like literally, like they were doing their paperwork, they look up and then they just keep the look. And I'm just like, oh wow, this is some intense, this is really intense. Like, whoa, I just got here. So I was like, okay, whoa, what's happening?
It's like at ease, ladies.
Yeah, like I'm not
I
even
got all
joking.
week.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like it was these two dime blonde looking Portuguese chicks working behind the desk, just looking up, just staring at me, smiling. And I walk up and I say like hola, como estás? In Portuguese, that's hi, how are you? I tried to learn a little bit of Portuguese before I got there, and they were like kind of surprised I was speaking Portuguese. They were like, oh, you know some Portuguese? I was like, a little bit, a little bit. And then we just started talking in English. I checked in, and they seemed really excited to like have me there. I was like, okay, okay,
Yeah,
this
because
might
they
be.
probably never seen a black man pull up on that island before.
It's funny. Like They might have, because I found out later from another chick. We'll get into this other chick later. She
Okay.
told me the Black Eyed Peas stayed at that hotel.
They kind of that's the see like there's really only one black guy in the group,
Right, right, right.
right? And then that dude, he's kind of like he looked like he smells musty. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He's not like all that money. He doesn't really look that well groomed. So a well groomed black man going there that's just normal. They probably never seen that before.
they might not have. Yeah, yeah. I should have inquired further, but it was a long flight, so I was trying to get some rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Will I am, he looked like he don't use like over the counter products. He looked
Mm,
like, he looked like he don't believe in deodorant. He probably wipes his ass with the plants in his backyard, pause. So it's like he don't really fit the type of brothers that show up to impress. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? He's just like, hey man, I got money, I do what I want.
mm,
Guy. So all right, so they see you,
hmm.
they real excited.
Yeah.
And how old were these ladies?
They look like they were in their early 20s. Like they were pretty young looking, like early 20s, blonde hair, bright eyes, tan skin. I was like, man, if all
Man,
women here look like this, I might have to stay a bit longer, But, the main objective was the wedding, of course. So you already know.
right, right. All right, so you go to the hotel, you go to the front, you got two options in the front.
Mm.
Now, do you call it a night or what do you do for the rest of the day?
So I just took a nap, and then I actually scheduled to meet up with a chick, Portuguese chick who lived on the island. We actually connected a few weeks prior to my arrival on Instagram. So
Mhm.
I told her like I was gonna be there. We had been talking, we followed each other. So we scheduled to meet up that afternoon. Just grab some coffee, right? Something light. So after I, got some rest, took a nap, went over, just walked literally downtown because the hotel is right near downtown. So just walked like maybe 9-10 minutes up the street, and there was the cafe where we scheduled to meet. So I sat outside, I waited for her, and she pulled up. Apparently, when men and women greet each other in Portugal, they do the kiss on the side of the cheek. They don't actually kiss the cheek, but they kiss the air next to the cheek. It's kind of like the French, like they'll kiss left in the air, kiss on the right, and that's how they greet each other, which I heard of, but I didn't know how much it was like pertinent. But yeah, like every chick I met, they would all do that. You kiss in
Oh,
the air on the left, kiss on the air on the right. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. Yeah, they'll get on you if you don't.
oh, they expect foreigners to do the same thing too, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember because another chick I met, like I wasn't used to it. So I just hugged her when I greeted her. And she said, oh, no, 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 no. So in Portugal, we do one kiss on the left and one kiss on the right. Not actually you plant your lips on her cheek. You can kiss the air. Left,
Right,
right, done. Yeah.
right. Now, men wasn't doing that to you, were they?
No, 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 no. It's men and women only. Men and women
Oh,
only.
okay, I'm about to say.
Men
I'm
and
gonna have
women
to,
only.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change my itinerary if it's men also.
No, 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 no. And this is the thing in France too. They do that with the men and the women doing the kiss on the cheeks. And I think in Spain, I believe they do it there as well. And they might do it in Italy, but I could be mistaken. So anyone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. So you were using the same method as you use in the DR when looking for women as you did in Portugal. You went to how was it again? You searched for the city, then
Hmm.
you looked for recent. You clicked recent,
Hmm.
and you were scrolling through there looking for attractive women, and then you DM'd them. Correct?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you met up with this Portuguese lady at a cafe. You said right?
Yeah, it was a cafe. The cafe was called Dondu Cafe. Dondu. Really nice cafe with outside seating. Yeah, really cool spot downtown.
Don Do Cafe.
Dondu Cafe. Yeah, yeah.
You know how to spell that?
Yeah, so it's spelled D as in dog, O as in ostrich, N as in nostril, D as in dog, U as in umbrella, E as in empty. Dondu Cafe.
Dondu Cafe,
Yeah,
Ponta de Gata.
Ponta Delgada, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Like, I'm looking at some of the foods on that menu.
Hmm.
Serve a lot of different dishes. You know. Okay. I mean, like these pictures, it looks good.
Hmm. Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like it tastes good.
Yeah, we didn't have the food though. We just had coffee. So like she
Okay.
actually just got a soda. So yeah, she didn't even get coffee. Yeah, I got coffee.
Right, right. Wow, on the street that it's on, it's like I don't. What is this? It's like tiles, but it's designed.
Yeah, well paved, very well paved. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
It's
walkable. Yeah.
yeah. Wow, it looks unique. All right, so this woman that you met, uh, you know, you met up with her from online.
Hmm.
Now, was she cute or did she look as good as the girls running that front desk at the hotel? How does she look?
She looked good. She looked a bit older than they were because those girls at the front desk definitely looked like they were in their early 20s. She looked like more she was in her late 20s, early 30s. I don't
Okay.
remember her exact age, but yeah, she was a bit older than them. But yeah, she was still very good looking. Yeah. And they have that very unique Southern European accent too. It almost sounds Italian or Spanish. I think it's because those countries are so close to each other. The accents sound similar, but
Right.
yeah, they speak very well English for the most part. Yeah. I didn't really meet anyone that didn't really speak too much English aside from like a handful of young ladies, yeah. But majority of the girls I met spoke pretty good English, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys were talking. Did she put you up on any game about the country?
Oh yeah, she told me a lot, man. Because it was she was the first Portuguese girl I sat down with to talk to. So of course, I had a lot of questions for her. I did my research. I learned a little bit about the country, but I felt like she could definitely fill in some of the blanks. You know what I mean? And also, like, I wanted to know a little bit more about her, and she put me on game about the island, the history, the culture. Portuguese culture in general. She also talked about Portuguese men because she was actually, I think, I don't know if she was married or it was just a long-term relationship, but yeah, her and her man broke up and all that, and then she talked about how it's very common for men to have a wandering eye when it comes to the women there. So yeah, a lot of the men, yeah, they be cheating quite a bit. Another girl actually said the same thing, so maybe there's some truth to it. And then she would talk about what she does for work, what her plans are for the future. And it was a good conversation. We got to learn a lot about each other. And yeah, she was very charming. I still talk to her too. We still follow each other, so we're still in touch.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, man, they on an island. Guys have a wandering eye.
Mm.
Um, did the women there seem feminine? Did you like seeing women that were kind of westernized, colored hair, a bunch of piercings, tattoos? Did you see any of that on that island?
No, I didn't really see it, but I know if you go to the mainland, you will see many women who do have tattoos. Um, I don't necessarily feel like you'll see many Portuguese chicks with colored hair, but here or there you might. But overall, from the women I met, they were extremely feminine. Yeah, they very soft spoken, very polite, very courteous. Very intriguing. Yeah, and also very inquisitive too. They'll ask you a lot of questions, and I think a lot of them enjoy practicing their English too. So when they meet you, it's a good opportunity for them also to practice more English because they're used to speaking Portuguese all the time. So it's like something that is a challenge for them, but something they enjoy doing because there's a lot of tourists that come to the island, and obviously not everyone speaks Portuguese who comes there. So yeah,
Right.
incentivized to learn English. Yeah, even in practice.
Okay, cool. So Nice ambiance with the cafe.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, nice young lady that you're speaking to puts you up on game. Now, does the day end there, or do you take it someplace else with her?
Yeah, yeah. I took it someplace else. We were having a good conversation. So I said, hey, like, you want to get out of the sun? Maybe go back to my hotel. Like, maybe we can watch a movie or something. And she said, yeah, sure, we can do that. So she comes with me back to the hotel, and she was like kind of impressed how nice the hotel was because she was telling me, like, wow, this hotel is very nice. This is like the top notch hotel to stay in here on the island. It's one of the top hotels on the island. So, we go back to my room. We're watching the movie. One thing leads to another. And yeah, I think you can guess what happened after that splash.
All right, absolutely. Yes. All right. So now does she stay the night or does she go back home?
No, no, she had to leave. Yeah, because apparently, I found out later she's got a kid. So I was like, "Oh,
Damn.
okay. Oh, you have a kid. Okay. Well, I guess the kid comes first. Yeah, do your thing. It's fine." I mean, I didn't really care because we had a lovely time, and she had to go, and I had another girl that I was scheduled to meet with for dinner. So yeah, it was fine.
Damn. All right. So are there a lot of single mothers on that island?
Not from what I saw, but you will find a lot of women who are either like divorced because the divorce rate's pretty high in Portugal overall. And
Yeah.
one of the other women told me about that too. She said, "Leah, Portugal has a very high divorce rate," which is interesting considering it's a very Catholic country. But yeah, divorce rate there is very high. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Like I was looking at a divorce map and I saw because like the lighter the country is, the less divorces there are. The darker is like if it's dark maroon, then it's the divorce rate is real high. That Portugal area, it was very high for
Mm,
divorce. I remember that map.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's pretty high. Spain's pretty high too, and France. Well, people don't really get married in France like that.
right. What do you think about that, man? Like, how does that make you feel as a young man traveling? You're open minded. I contrary to popular belief, because women would, if you let women tell it, there's no man that's marriage minded out here. But to
Mm,
us, I feel like most men are marriage minded. It's just that we can't really find compatible women out there that are actually wise. I mean, we meet a lot of freaks,
mm,
right, who think there's somebody special, but it's like you're showing me something totally different. Like I can see you, and I've lived long enough to know, okay, you're not it. So how does that make you feel going to these places and seeing it's like, okay, they're giving you cooperation, you're laying down with these women, but they were divorced or they're single mothers. How does that make you feel stepping out into the world knowing that you're a single man dealing with these women out here?
So when I look at that scenario, I like to look at the bigger picture and see all the angles and all the aspects as to why that would be the case. For example, Portugal, for example, the divorce rate's very high for a multitude of reasons. One of which is, the men have a wandering eye. Most women in Portugal who I spoke to, this is what they said. And the reason why they have a wandering eye is because many Portuguese women there are extremely beautiful. Like they have that olive skin, very similar to women you'll find in Greece or in Italy. These Southern European countries, there's always that allure to them, that charisma that they have. But the men, obviously, they don't want to just settle for one. Sometimes they want to settle for more than one. So what often happens is, they get into relationships, the men have a wandering eye. The men are very machismo in Portugal, very similar to men in Italy, which in Italy is the same situation, Catholic country, but the men have a wandering eye and the men do what they want to do. And the women are expected to an extent, put up with it. Well, the difference between Italy and Portugal is in Portugal, the women don't want to put up with it anymore. And in Italy, most of the women will accept it to a degree. But there is a small degree of feminism in Italy that's kind of branching out and pushing towards, more liberal ideals. So these are some of the reasons why the divorce rate in Portugal is the way it is. And so if you're a brother who's not from Portugal, and you're dealing with Portuguese women, you will find that you can work with them because they are feminine. You know what I mean? They're not loud and rambunctious as women that you'll find maybe in Scandinavian countries, for example, in Sweden, where women will tell you that they're equal to you and they'll do whatever they want to do and you be damned with you. But in Portugal, you find that I think because of the Catholic influence, they are more conservative in that regard. Of course, the women there, they're still going to university, they're getting an education, but they still are more traditional oriented in the sense that most of them you talk to, they want to settle with one guy and deal with one guy at a time, not dealing with a multitude of dudes and, running up their body count like girls in Sweden and Iceland, for example.
Okay. All right. So, oh, girl, she goes home. You said you had another woman scheduled either that night. Was it that night or the next day?
It was that night. Yeah, it was that night. I met up with her in the evening time. We met up for dinner. Yeah, she was a lovely girl too. She put me on game about Portugal and the island as well. And she was a sweetheart. Yeah. She was living with her parents. She was in her 20s, never been married, didn't have any children. And yeah, she was lovely. And it's funny because we only originally planned to just have dinner, but then we ended up spending the evening and the whole night together, basically going to bars, they're going to different clubs. She was showing me, okay, like let's go to this bar. You're gonna like this one. Oh, let's go to this place. You're gonna like this place. Ooh, let's go here. You want to dance? We can go here. Like so, she was basically my tour guide for the whole night. So what started off as just having dinner led to basically her basically giving me a rundown of the nightlife, which was cool because yeah, it was a Saturday night too, so it was popping. Yeah.
Damn, that sounds kind of exhausting.
Bro, I was so tired. I'm not gonna lie, I was falling asleep at dinner. Like it was bad. Like I kid you not, my eyes were closing and my head was going down at dinner, and she could tell too. And she was like, "Yes, you look very tired." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm tired. Yeah." But you know what? I was like, "Bro, this is my first night. I'm in Portugal. I'm on the island. I'm gonna be a super trooper tonight. I'm with this lovely lady. Come on now, come on now."
Right, right. I know people like that where you hang out with them and then it's like they want to go to everybody's house or every club or every every bar in a day. And I'm
Mm,
like, so I know people like that. But
mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah, it was an adventure that night because it was my first night too. So I was just like, man, you know what? It's my first night. I can't let this go to waste. I have a lovely tour guide showing me around. Yeah, like she's providing value. Hey, I'm gonna take that value for sure, for sure.
So I'm guessing like you were the only brother at these like clubs and bars, right?
I did see two other brothers at one club. It was the club. Oh man, I wish I had written it down, but it was a really good nightclub. Actually, right down the street from my hotel, like literally like 3-minute walk. It was so convenient. It was the Ibiza Club. Yes, it was
Oh,
the Ibiza Club. Yeah, that was a good club. That club was popping. Yeah.
Ibiza Club. I know about the island of Ibiza, but
Oh man, yeah, yeah. I've heard good things about that place. Yeah.
man. So all right, so this woman that you met up with, did she look better than the first girl you met up with, or were they kind of? Would you rate them kind of the same?
I would rate them the same. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
They both had brunette hair. They both had that tan olive Southern European skin complexion. Yeah, they seem the same. Yeah.
okay, that's what's up. So, man, you go to the Ibiza Club. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Ibiza Club Ponta. Let me see this. I'm not. Yeah, they don't have too many pictures online about. I guess this is the. Yeah, they don't have too many. Even the Instagram page, they don't have too many pictures online about this club. But I'll definitely check it out if I ever go over there.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
good
I see
club.
some Google images of it. Yeah, it's packed.
Hmm.
So there was nobody like you didn't feel any sense of uh like, what are you doing here? Any sense of racism? You didn't feel none of that when you was over there on that island.
No, no, I felt nothing but love, to be honest. Everyone was very welcoming and accepting. And I think the reason why is because there are immigrants on the island. There's obviously more immigrants on the mainland, especially, but there are immigrants on the island from Africa because there's a couple African countries that were colonized by the Portuguese, like way back in
Oh
the
yeah.
day. Yeah, like Cape Verde, Angola, Mozambique, these were Portuguese colonies. And then, they all got independent and got their freedom. So now they govern themselves. But a lot of these Africans from these countries, Portuguese is the main language there. So oftentimes they'll come to Portugal to immigrate for a better life, better economic opportunity, try to get work. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So the night ends, and does she come back to the hotel, or did she go home?
Unfortunately, she went home. I tried though. I tried to pull my game, Splash. We were dancing. We were taking videos together. It was a good vibe. So I was trying to do the charm, but nah. She said no, no. I am going home. Apparently, she was going to church the next morning, so
Oh my God, she was
that
gonna
might have something to do with it.
yeah, she was gonna pray the Negro spirits off of her.
Yeah, it's a very Catholic country, Splash. I'm telling you, it's a very Catholic country.
Yeah, that sounds like the Philippines. I mean, they love the Lord over there on the Philippines. It's
They
just
do. Yeah.
they'll get it in the night before and go to church in the morning.
Facts, facts. They're gonna kneel in front of the priest.
Right, right. So, and it's always the ones that act like they're real freaky. They're very touchy, and it's. But then you're like, okay, damn, you showing me all these choosing signals. Why don't you come back to the spot?
Mm.
And they're the ones that say no.
Yeah, that's true. But this girl, I feel like maybe, she she maybe is just not that kind of girl, or maybe she is. I don't know. I didn't really care though, because I already smashed like a couple hours before. So I was like,
Right,
whatever. Like it didn't even bother me. I was like, all right, have a good night, sweetheart. I'll
right.
see you later.
You can't fuck them all.
Right.
All right, so you go back to your spot. Now we on day number 2. When's the wedding? Is wedding on day number 2, or you have a free day number 2?
The wedding was on a Friday. Yeah, it was either Thursday or Friday. So yeah, I had plenty of time to like explore and do whatever I wanted. So day number 2, actually, I met up with another Portuguese chick. We got some coffee in the afternoon. Yeah,
So you flew in on what day?
I flew in on a Friday. It was Friday night, and then I arrived Saturday morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
so the wedding wasn't until next week.
yeah, it wasn't until the following week on Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the next day, what do you do on day number 2?
So yeah, I met up with another Portuguese chick. We met at a cafe, really nice cafe. I can't really recall the name because she actually suggested it last minute. So yeah, it was nice. It was a good time. We had coffee. Then we walked around. She showed me around, and actually the following day she offered to drive me outside the city to go see some sights. And she basically drove me around for like half the day for like 4 or 5 hours, taking me to like beaches, taking me to different like forests and things like that. I got some really good pictures too. I posted in the Facebook group way back when, but yeah, she was really cool. Yeah, it was really nice of her to do that for me. And I told her, I was like, hey, I got a rental car. Like, you don't have to drive me around. She's like, no, 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 no. Well, why don't you drive your rental car to my house? You park the car there, and
Mm.
then I'll take you and I'll drive you around.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, save me gas.
Is there a lot to see on that island? I guess I'd imagine the majority of stuff to see is stuff that's outdoors, right?
There's a lot of outdoors things to see. Yeah, that's why I strongly suggest if you can rent a car, definitely do it. So it gives you the freedom to see these places. You can always book a tourist excursion and have them show you around, but that might cost, something. But yeah, there's a couple good places you can go if you brothers are into hiking. You can go to Parque Terra Nostra. There's a hot spring over there you can go to. You can also go to Boco do Inferno, which in Portuguese English is pronounced the mouth of hell, but it's like a hiking spot with a beautiful scenery. If you guys are into that.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. So she takes you to these spots. You get a lot of good pictures. If you guys want to see those pictures, join the Facebook page. Link is in the description box below. Um, and you guys were pretty much gone the majority of the day. Sound like she drove you to several different spots, and it took up most of the day, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, but they were lovely spots. Yeah. And then she also took me to this there was this village. It was called Furnas village. It was like a lovely quiet little Portuguese village way outside the city. And we just kind of walked around and took pictures, talked, got something to eat. Yeah. It was really peaceful out there. And I felt super safe too. I never felt once like I was in danger or someone's going to try to rob me or mug me. If you're on the mainland, however, in Lisbon, there are a lot of pickpockets out there. So if you're in the capital city, Lisbon, just be careful. That's what I'll say.
Oh wow. All right. So while she was taking you to these spots, did you see other tourists also, or was it like just the two of y'all?
Yeah, there were tourists everywhere, man. Tourists from all different countries. There were Americans, Canadians, Brits, French, people from all over. Yeah.
Man. All right. So were any of these spots that you went to and you saw these tours with other ladies at these tourist spots kind of looking at you, or they was just kind of focusing on their that they're taking pictures and just enjoying themselves? Like, did you see any women that was checking you out?
Yeah, I got a couple looks here and there, but I just acted like it was another day in the office, and I just kept it pushing. Especially since I had a lady walking beside me, so yeah, got a few looks here and there, but didn't think too much of it. Just kept it pushing. Yeah, never felt like I was getting any racist looks, but it was just kind of like intrigue, a little bit of curiosity, just wondering, like, oh, okay, like just another day at the office. Splash, you know how it is.
That's what's up. All right, so the day ends and you go back to her spot. And when you go back to her spot, do you stay there? Do you meet up with somebody else? What happens?
No, I didn't stay there. I was tired, man. I was exhausted. And I could tell maybe she wasn't quite ready to, maybe move things to another activity, in the confines of her home. So I didn't pressure it. I was tired anyway, because bro, we literally went everywhere. Like I was all over the place. So I was ready to just go back to the hotel and just take a nap. And then also, I was supposed to link up with my buddies, the buddy who was going to get married, and some of the other guys who were there from the wedding party that night. So I really had to rush back to the hotel, take a nap, shower, then link up with the boys, to celebrate my friend's upcoming wedding. Shout out to Rich. Yeah, white guy.
Okay, so was there ever like a bachelor party at all or no?
No, I don't think he ever did one. I think if he did, it might have been when he was back in LA, because he actually lives in Los Angeles.
Okay.
He might have had a small little get together, but he definitely didn't do anything crazy. Like there was no Vegas crazy bachelor blowout or nothing like that. No, I don't even think his wife or his fiance at the time did anything crazy either, which is good.
Right. All right, so you meet up with the groom later on that evening. Where did y'all go?
Yeah, so we went downtown. We were just kind of bar hopping to a bunch of different bars. I can't remember the name of all the bars because they were a bunch of them that night. But yeah, we basically were just bar hopping around, and then his fiance, his current wife, came. She came with her family friends. My boy Rich was there with some of his buddies that I knew, his brother, some of his family members. And funny enough, then a girl who was working at the cafe that I met up with the other Portuguese girl at, who was working behind the counter, she shows up. at one of the bars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and apparently, like she walks up to the my buddy's fiance at the time, and like they're kissing and hugging, like excited to see each other. I was like, wait, they know each other? And then my boy Rich is like, yeah, that's Mariana's cousin. I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, like, well, what's up? He's like, bro. I was like, bro, I was on a date. Like, she was working behind the counter. He was just like, what? No way. I'm like, bro, yeah. Like that, that's her. He's like, nah, you probably got it confused with some other girl. The Portuguese girl looked the same. Like, no, bro, I'm telling you, that's the girl working at the cafe who gave me the coffee when I was there with the other chick.
Mm.
And he's just like, bro, like, are you for real? Like, bro, I'm not even joking. And like, I was like, bro, it's definitely her. And then I walked over. It's like, excuse me, hi, how are you? He's like, oh, good, how are you? And it's like, hi, like, I think I know you. I walked into your cafe and you're the one who gave me my coffee. And then just her face just changed. And she was like, oh my God, yes. And she recognized me. And we were just kind of like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, what are the chances? Yeah. Very lovely young Portuguese lady.
Wow, nice, nice. All right. Hey, when I look at pictures of this island, it doesn't look like there's a bunch of like the way you describe it is there's a lot of bars downtown, but for whatever reason, when I look at pictures of it, it doesn't seem like there would be that many bars, but you're saying something different. Like
Yeah,
there's a bunch of them.
there's a bunch of them, but they're small. They're very tiny bars. Yeah. I would only say the real club, like a nightclub, is probably going to be the Ibiza Club. But like the rest downtown is like small, tiny bars. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how are people holding their liquor? The people that are around you, are there a lot of people that are sloppy drunk, or everybody was pretty much tame that night for the most part?
The Americans were the sloppiest drunk.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Everyone else was calm. Like I felt bad, Splash, because bro, like I felt like we were being really loud. Cause like bro, the bar where we were at, it was quiet. Like people were speaking softly, slowly. And then a bunch of Americans, you know how it is. They're like, oh, I was like, oh shit, like bro, like we might have to turn the volume down a little bit. You know what I mean? You see this a lot when you travel. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So, but everybody else friendly, can hold their liquor,
Mm.
and you know, good to hang out. What kind of music were they were playing? It was like top 40. Was there any hip hop?
Yeah, top 40 hip hop, Portuguese songs. Yeah, it's a combination of all of the above. Yeah, they really switch it up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that night, y'all just hanging out, nothing much to it, and then you go back to your hotel, or do you meet somebody that night, or what happened?
Yeah, I went back to the hotel, but it was cool because during the night, like I did speak to a bunch of chicks, like just cold approaching. Like I met a chick, she was from the island, she lived there, she was Portuguese. I was talking to her, and then her other friend just grabbed her away, like, "Oh, we have to go. Bye." It's like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
it is what it is." And then I actually met another chick. She was from Mexico. Yeah, and we were actually in line to use the restroom. And I was like, well, you're not Portuguese. Where are you from? She's like, yes. I'm like, you're from Spain. She said, no. I was like, you're from Greece. She's like, no. I was like, shit. Well, you might be from Cuba. She's like, no. I was like, all right, I give up. Where you from? She's like, I'm from Mexico. I was like, oh my God, Mexico. Oh shit. All right. So there are a lot of tourists on this island. Yeah.
right, right. All right. So you met some ladies that night, but went back to the hotel, got some rest. Now,
Mm.
day three, what happened days three on day three?
I met up with the same girl from the day before who was driving me around. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do
Yeah.
y'all get into?
So she had some other places that she wanted to show me where she said that I would definitely like. So I wanted to be outside, get some fresh air, get some Portuguese sun, get that vitamin D for the melanin. So yeah, we drove outside the city, went to a bunch of other places, checked out a bunch of cool spots. There was this nice waterfall that she took me to. It's called Porto Famus. Porto Famus. Yeah, it's a waterfall.
Okay. So this waterfall, does it have is there a railing and a place to kind of like separate people from the waterfall and from falling over, or is it just kind of out in the open?
Yes, yes. So there is a railing over there, so it's there for your protection. So definitely take
Okay.
advantage of it. Yeah, but a lot of people are daring. They like to take pictures near the edge. I didn't do that because I was nervous, but yeah, there's railing, there's protection, but it's a cool place. Very nice, peaceful, beautiful waterfall. Yeah.
Okay, because I did a show talking about that, how some lady over in Thailand, she just found some random waterfall out in the wild, but it wasn't like, they didn't turn that into a tourist destination where it's like, okay, we need to put a rail here, separate people, from getting too close, going over the edge so they don't fall over. It was just out in the open, and then she fell down the waterfall and she died. And
Oh.
then I showed like, contrast to that, how waterfalls are organized and set up over in Taiwan.
Mm.
I'm like, no, there's like a little gift shop. They have a walkway, there's rails, there's steps, and the rails are high enough so you don't fall over. So that's what I was wondering. Well, you said there's a rail.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So, if anybody wants to go over there, you know, they know that they're safe because, I always tell people like, hey, man, some of these places, they have activities, but if they're not taking it serious, don't engage in the activities because people end up losing their lives and the country seem like they don't care when that happens. But over there, they got a rail, seems pretty safe. What else did y'all do?
Yeah, so she took me around just to some other places. There were some local villages that she took me to, and there was actually a local restaurant in one of these villages. Uh, I believe the village might have been maybe it was Setsidaj or yeah, I think it was Setsidaj was the name of the village. So it was a village outside Ponta Delgada, and there was a restaurant. I actually wrote down the name of the restaurant. It was called Jose Dorego. Jose Dorego restaurant. Yeah, because she told me like, "Oh, Sam, you haven't tried real Portuguese food yet. So we need to sit you down and try some Portuguese food." So she basically told me what to order because I didn't know like what to order on the menu because it's all Portuguese, right? So like she's translating for me because the waitress doesn't speak English, obviously, and stuff. And so she made me order this like fish dish. It was called chichados. Chichados is called. It's like a fish dish. It was very delicious too. Yeah, I enjoyed that meal.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, so y'all eat. You went sightseeing, you eat, and but the sun is going down, but the night is still young. What happens next?
The night was still young, but again, she played the elusive card. She wasn't ready to take it to the next step. So I was like, okay, no problema. I ain't gonna pressure nobody. I already hooked up with a Portuguese girl this week, so it's okay. Just have a good night, sweetheart. So I met up with the American guys from the wedding party, and we just linked up, and we went to a casino because they wanted to gamble. I'm not really big into gambling, but they wanted to. So there's this hotel. It's a five-star hotel called the Octant Hotel. So the Octant Hotel has a casino inside. So the boys really wanted to go check it out and gamble. I didn't gamble, but obviously, it's the boys. You don't want to be a party pooper, so I just went with them.
Okay, nice. So they got casinos on the island. Now the casinos are they kind of small, or these are some grand casinos that they have?
Tiny, tiny. Yeah, because the
Wow.
casino's like part of the hotel. So yeah, it was small. Like it wasn't what I've seen in America at all. But it's an island, so I didn't expect it to be large. But yeah, the guys really wanted to see how it was. So yeah, I was like, okay, guess we're going to a Portuguese casino tonight.
Yeah. See, once you've been to Vegas, or there was one casino I went to in Oklahoma. It's like on the border of Oklahoma and Texas. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but we went there like a few months ago. And man, it took us a minute to walk throughout that whole casino. It was it was huge. Once you go to casinos like that, it's like every other casino is just kind of like, yeah, so but did they end up gambling? Like what games were they playing?
Yeah, they were playing like poker, blackjack. They had the slot machines too. So yeah, I was just kind of watching, trying to learn because I don't know how to play any of those card games. So like, I was literally just kind of watching, observing, trying to figure out how that shit works. I still haven't really got it figured out, to be honest with you. It's just not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit, my shit is a Texas Hold'em.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you're from
Yeah.
Texas, of course.
I
Why
mean,
am I not surprised?
it ain't even because I'm from Texas. It's just like I'm just cold at it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so yeah. I usually keep a little card, poker, gambling games on my computer or on my PS5, so that when I go to a casino, I already know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I already know how to play it. So just to sharpen up my skills on it. So, but I mean, I played pretty much every game there is, but I don't know for whatever reason that Texas Hold'em it's just easy to me. You
Mm,
know, but so all right, you go to casino. It's like, but you're still having fun. You're with your people,
yeah.
and uh, what else? What else do y'all do? You call it a night after that, or do y'all eat, or what else?
Yeah, I mean, we got something to drink. There was this bar actually downtown. I actually wrote down the name of the bar. It was called Ta Gente. So T-A separate word, and then Gente, Gente. So we got some drinks over there. It was a nice bar. Yeah, it was pretty chill.
Okay, so y'all just relaxing, enjoying the night. You meet anybody there?
Nah, we were just kicking it, catching up. Yeah, just catching up. Because like a bunch of us are from different places, so it was a good like just hang out, just catch up, see what's going on, and yeah, just get ready for the wedding shenanigans later that week.
Okay, so you call it a night. Now I guess we're on day 4, right?
Yes, this should be day 4, so this should be Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not even halfway through at
no,
that point in time. Do
yeah.
you think like no, with somebody listening to this, do you think they should book 10 days? Is 10 days too long? Or, you know, y- how many days should somebody book uh on this island?
I think 7 to 10 days is good enough. Once you've seen 7 to 10 days of it, you've seen it all. Yeah.
Okay. Cause
Yeah,
like,
definitely not 2 weeks. Definitely not 2 weeks. Nah.
right, right. Because like, all right, a country like Singapore, when people Google Singapore, they're like, oh man, like I want to book like a whole week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm like, nah, you know, 3 days at max, and you've seen everything. So
Mm,
you should, country hop to another country nearby. You go to Singapore and go someplace else afterwards, but only stay there like 2 or 3 days. You've seen everything.
mm.
So, but
That's
you
a good
staying,
tip.
but
Mm.
2 or 3 days in on this island, that's not enough.
No. 7 days at least. 7 days minimum. Yeah. No more than 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, day 4. What do you get into on day 4?
Day 4, I didn't really meet up with any chicks actually. I just kind of went and explored on my own because I hadn't really explored like the museums and the libraries yet. So, what I usually like to do is to learn some history about where I am. I like to visit the museums and see what, knowledge I can obtain. Yeah, so there were a couple museums I went to. They have a military museum there that you can visit, which kind of talks about, what happened during like the colonial days when Portugal was actually like, colonizing some parts of the world and had some real world power way back in the day, not so much anymore. And there was also another museum called Museo Carlos Machado. So it's like another history museum that they have downtown in Ponta Delgada. A really nice museum. A lovely young lady working behind the desk. I tried cold approaching and trying to lay the Mac on her, and actually, there was another lady who was working security at the museum. I also tried to cold approach her and lay some Mac too. They spoke pretty good English, but they both had boyfriends, but they were still pretty open when I cold approached and started conversing with them. It wasn't like, oh
Mm.
no, I have a boyfriend, like get away from me, you
They
black.
was thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah, they were with it. They were with it. They were smiling and everything. They knew what time I was on, but they didn't like reject me like hard, like sometimes happens in America. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. America, and I say one of the worst places I got rejected at was in Thailand. I was in Chiang Mai. I never forget that. Shit, I was they got these like little. They got the. I guess you would call them like shacks. There's like sliding doors. They're very small. They're like rooms, right? But there's a bunch of them in this area in Chiang Mai. I walk into one. I cold approached this one girl. She was with a couple friends. She didn't even say nothing. She put up the big X in front of my face with her arms. I'm like, damn.
Mm. Was she Thai or was she something else?
No, she was Thai.
Mm.
She put up the big X, like, but it was like, I'm like, you doing too much. Like, you could have put up an X with your fingers. Like, no, 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 no. No, she raised both of her arms over her head and did a big X. After it's
Wow.
like, okay, damn.
Mm.
But
Maybe she was looking for something white, Splash.
I mean, but that don't. I could take rejection. That ain't shit to me. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But
Mm.
it was just funny how she did that. I never forgot that. I was like, oh, okay. You kind of showing out right now. Um, but yeah, so they it was rejection, but it wasn't. It was no hard feelings. It's like, okay, damn. I could respect that, and they were still respectful, and at rejecting you. It didn't. Honestly, it doesn't even sound like it was rejection. It was just like, I'm showing respect to my man, but we could still communicate and this, that, and the third. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah. It was all smiles too. Like even when I knew the conversation was dead and it was time for me to turn around and walk away, it was nothing but smiles. Yeah. Yeah, nothing but smiles. This happened at the gym too, because the gym in the hotel is too small. Like, bro, that's what I don't like hotel gyms because they're too small. So you can't really get that real workout that you want to do. So I
Yeah,
tried to find like a local gym in Ponta Delgada to tap into, and luckily, there was a really nice gym like right down the street from the hotel, like literally 5, 6 minute walk. And it was called HL Health Club Gym. Yeah, HL Health Club. Apparently, it's like the most popular gym in the city. And even like people like who live way outside the city, like on opposite sides of the island, they'll drive all the way to Ponta Delgada just to work out at that gym.
that was a pretty big gym, ain't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's
What's
really
it called
nice.
again?
HL Health Club.
HL Health Club.
Hmm.
Sound like it's packed.
Yeah, yeah, it could get pretty busy. I would try to go early in the morning. That way, you know, get.
Oh, so they have like a guest fee that you got to pay.
Yeah, yeah, they had a guest pass. The guest pass is a little steep for a couple days, but it's worth it because it's a really good gym with a bunch of equipment. So depending on what kind of exercise you like to do, you could definitely get your workout in over there. You couldn't do it at the hotel gym. Hotel gyms are so freaking small. It's like, this,
Yeah,
bro, I can't do nothing here.
yeah, I feel you. All right, how much did you have to pay for the guest pass there?
For a week, it was about 70 euros.
Okay, all right, that's not too bad.
No.
Trying to get a feel for what the gym looks like. They keep on showing the cycling classroom.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice gym. Yeah, it's good size too. So you can definitely get your workout in. Even if the gym is packed, you could still find some machines that are open. Yeah.
All right, salute to Kenny Peoples. What's going on? All right, so you did some exploring. You go to the gym. Uh,
A lot of bad
I don't
gym.
blame you because sometimes I like to just kick it by myself and explore
Mm.
on my own. Without Sometimes I enjoy just hanging out by myself. I get it.
Facts, facts. And also, I wanted to practice my cold approach. You can't really cold approach if you already have a chick walking around next to you. You know what I mean?
Right. Cause you meet up with some of these girls on the internet and then you get out there, you're like, damn, like the women I'm seeing while I'm with her are better than the chick that I'm with. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
have to come back out here by myself.
Facts. Yep, that's exactly why I just hung out by myself that day because I was trying to get to the gym, of course, first and foremost, and like even the girl working behind the desk was bad, and like she didn't speak good English, but she still tried to speak to me in English, and like she wanted to give me a tour of the gym and show me around and things like that, and like it was so funny. Like her accent was so cute. She was just like, Samuel, where are you from? How long are you staying? Samuel, do you need the locker? Samuel, do you want to some water? Samuel. I was like, it's Sam, sweetheart. It's okay.
Right. Right. Good customer service, it sounds like.
Very good. Yes,
Right.
even with the broken English.
Right. But not just there, everywhere you went, like the customer service was A1.
Yeah, man, it was good. Like, I honestly had no complaints. I will say though, when you go to restaurants, don't expect the waiters to be at your beck and call because this is a thing in Europe in general. Because like they don't get tips over there, so they're not like on your hand and foot trying to service you like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
you have to get used to that. I mean, I'm used to it because I've been to Europe a couple times before, but maybe you American brothers who may have not been to Europe yet, you might not be used to it. Yeah. They're not hanging around your table every 10 seconds. Trust me. It's
No, I
not.
prefer that.
Mm.
I prefer that. I hate when like I'm eating, I got a mouthful of food and they always come. Oh, is it good? Everything okay? I'm like, I'm good. Like it's like I'm eating, and sometimes just like I want you to back off. I'm trying to. If I'm by myself, I'm probably on my phone trying to enjoy my time. If I'm with a woman, it's like it's especially if the main course came out. Like, come on,
Mm.
leave us alone. Like, I'm probably only gonna hit you up if I need the check.
Mm.
But now I feel you. But that's good to know
Yeah.
because other countries, not every country you go to, uh, they have that level of customer service where people are courteous. I always tell people like in Thailand, for example, the touristy spots, you know, the customer service is pretty decent, but once you go to everyday, day-to-day spots as somebody who's a resident there, the customer service is shit.
Mm.
So that's that's very important. When I go someplace, are people going to be kind and and courteous when I go to some places? But that's good to know. So you go out, you eat. What else do you do?
Yeah. So like I said before, I was in the gym and the girl was showing me around and stuff like that. So I'm getting that workout in. I finish and there's this bad shorty, tall, dark jet black hair just chilling in the lobby, just finished her workout. I'm like, bro, I can't leave this gym without talking to her. Sometimes you're just out and about and you see a chick and it's just like you feel like if you don't go up to her, you're gonna regret it later. So I
Man, I know exactly what you mean. My
Mhm.
bad. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so I just went up to her and I just like she had her AirPods in, so she couldn't hear me. So I just like tapped the table. I was like, excuse me, sorry. Do you speak English? She's like, yes, I speak English. I was like, yeah. So I was just walking by and I just noticed you here and I just wanted to come up and talk to you because I thought you were really attractive. She's like, oh, thank you. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, you're not married, are you? And she just laughed. She's like, no, I'm not married, but I am committed. I was like, "Oh, you have a boyfriend?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, no problem. My apologies. Have a nice day." And I just turned around and walked out.
Man, that's what's up. It's still like, you're still sharpening your skills. Like even if somebody's committed or they're married, you still sharpening your skills because I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of guys that are too afraid to even do that.
Mm.
So still it's like, uh, you know, what they say, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take,
Yes,
but when you taking those shots, you're still working on your jump shot. You're still sharpening your skills. So that's still good though. Um, but man, I've so there was a lot of there was enough fine women up in that gym, huh?
there were. Like, I'm kidding you not. It's going to be hard to work out sometimes, depending what time of day you go, because there's just baddies everywhere, and like they'll be staring at you because you most likely will be one of the few black people there.
Right, right.
Like, literally, I think I only saw one or two black people one day that I went there, and I went to this gym like all week long. Like, I was getting my workout in all week long. I think I saw two black people on just one day, and the rest of the week I didn't really see any black people in there. So you know me, like my dark skin ass, I stood out like a sore thumb. So I'm walking by, girls looking up like this, smiling and everything. I'm like, oh, here we go. And like, even when I'm working out, like the personal trainer girls are walking by, they're looking, they give me the nod. I'm like, oh, okay. And like, I guess they were so used to seeing me in there because naturally, like, I'm one of the few black people in there. So like, one of the guys, he's a personal trainer there. We never even spoke. Like, I never even talked to this dude. But he walked by, he saw me, he just put his fist out like, hey, and he gave me the fist bump, like, and then he just kept walking. Yeah.
Damn, that's what's up. That's what's up. Salute to Matthew. Matthew, what's your next destination? And when are you traveling again? Or have you traveled since the last time we spoken? I know the last time we talked, you went to Montreal. I gotta repost. I keep saying that I need to repost all the interviews that I've done, but I really gotta repost, go back and repost those interviews that we've done. Um, but yeah, Matthew, let me know. It sounds like a good gym.
Mm,
If I ever go there one day, I'm definitely gonna hit up that gym.
yes.
Uh, that's good to know. So after the gym, you want to know something, man? It's like the funny thing about gyms is like once you get to your peak physique, that your target physique, excuse me, it's like you mainly get hit on, or you get more compliments from men than women.
Yeah, it's
Like,
weird. Yeah.
yeah, in the gym, men come up to you. Oh my goodness, you look great. You look good. You look. I'm like, all right, thank you. It's just, oh man, your calves. Like it's just, man. I wish the women would say this, but it's always men who do that.
I
That's
know.
the annoying thing about getting to that level
Hmm.
at the gym. But
Yeah.
yeah, but anyways, Kenny Peoples, he said, what island in Portugal? What island in the Portugal country? We're talking about Ponta Delgada. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep. That's
Let
the
me type
city.
that in the
Yeah.
let me type Ponta del. That's the spelling
Yeah.
right
So
there.
Ponta Delgada. Yeah, that's the city. The main city, and the island is called São Miguel Island. São Miguel.
Okay.
Yeah. Saint Michael in English is actually translated. Yeah. São Miguel.
Nice, nice. All right. So after the gym, the day ends, or what else do you get into?
Yeah, so yeah, I was going to the museums. I was just walking around, just observing the sights, people watching. Yeah, and I just went back to the hotel, and that was the end of the night. Yeah, I believe the wedding was the following day, so like I had to get enough rest because wedding shenanigans. You got to be prepared for anything.
Right. So you met up with them again, or
Yeah, so the wedding was, I believe it was the next day, if I remember how the week went correctly. Yeah, because like I had my suit ready and pressed and ironed, ready to go, and I had to take a taxi actually because the wedding ceremony took place in a village outside of Ponta Delgada. So it was about a 30-minute taxi drive. FYI, guys, the taxis don't take credit cards, cash only. So you better have some cash if you're taking taxis.
that's good to know. It's definitely good to know. All right, so the next day is the wedding. I've
Hmm.
never actually been to a wedding before. It sounds like it's an all day event.
It was all day event. It was lovely, appetizers, drinks, good food. It was lovely. Yeah, it was interesting because like the bride, she's Portuguese, but the groom, my buddy Rich, he's American. He's American, lives in LA. So it was interesting because the people at the wedding, it was like Americans and then Portuguese. So you heard people speaking English and then you heard people speaking Portuguese. It was very interesting.
Nice, nice. So it's like a Western mix with a traditional wedding, or how did it go?
Yes, yes, very Western mixed with a traditional wedding. A lot of dancing, a lot of Portuguese music, and also I got to, practice my cold approach with some of the lovely American and Portuguese women at the wedding who were single. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah, 'cause women, they feel a certain way when they go to weddings.
You
You
already
know,
know, Splash. You already know. I was
yeah.
doing my rounds.
Right, right, right. Did you exchange any information?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did splash. In fact, the girl that I said was cousins with the bride that I saw at the cafe who gave me the coffee that I met up with later, she
Mhm.
of course was there at the wedding because it's her cousin. Her cousin getting married, right? And the minute I saw her fine Portuguese ass in that dress outside, she was sitting out there smoking a cigarette. I was like, ah, man, these European girls, they all be smoking cigarettes. I'm telling you, Splash, you're gonna see these girls smoking cigarettes like crazy. I don't know how they stay looking so good, but yeah, they all smoke cigarettes, man. It's crazy. So anyway, she's out there with her fine Portuguese ass in her dress, smoking a cigarette, and she sees me. She said, "Oh, Sam." I'm just, "Oh, señorita, oh, cómo estás?" I'm practicing my Portuguese because I'm trying to get something in. So we
Right.
were hugging and like she's all up on me. She's like, "Oh, Sam, it's good to see you." I was like, "It's good to see you too. Like you looking good, by the way." She's like, "You too. You look so sharp." I was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And then like she was talking. She's like, "So how do you like the island?" I was like, "Yeah, it's good. Like so far, it's been great." She's like, "Oh, so like, what do you think of Portuguese girls?" I was like, "Oh, like you trying to get me in trouble?" And she's like, "Oh, you're so funny." I was like, no, they're beautiful women. They're beautiful women. You were actually the first Portuguese girl I saw. And she was like, oh, really? So you noticed me? I was like, yeah, yeah. And she said, when you walked into that cafe, I noticed you too. I said, well, what you mean you noticed me? What you talking about? And then the whole time she's smoking the cigarette, and then she takes it out to talk, and she puts the cigarette back in. And I kid you not, it was just like a movie. I was like, wait, what do you mean you noticed me? And then she put the cigarette in her mouth. She said, "You are very noticeable." And then she just started smoking again. I was like, "Whoa, what? Okay."
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was like a movie. I was like, "Man, this some James Bond shit right here."
All right. So, man, so you enjoy the wedding. Everybody's looking nice. How was
Yeah.
the village? So the nice village?
Yeah, it was a nice little village. Yeah, the hotel venue was not as fancy as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, because even some of the guests at the wedding, they had actually stayed at that hotel because when they found out the wedding was going to be at that hotel, they were like, "Oh, just going to stay in the hotel. That way, we can just go downstairs and the wedding's right there." And they were saying they regretted staying there because they said like the breakfast was terrible. There was like flies on the food and stuff. Like the customer service was bad. They said like, man, we should have done what you did, Sam. We should have stayed in the city. I was like, yeah, you should have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because they were like, dang, it seems like the city is where all the action is. Because Americans, they don't really do their research before they travel, so they didn't know a clue about how far things were and how close things were. They didn't know none of that.
Right, right. Now, before you actually went to this place, did you know anything about this island?
So I literally didn't know a thing until I got the wedding invitation to go there. I didn't know
Right.
a thing.
I'd have been
Yeah,
confused. Like, where the hell is this at?
facts, facts. And it wasn't until I got the invitation, then I started Googling and going on YouTube. And then I started doing research. But before that, I was like, Ponta do the Azores, Sao Miguel Island, where is that? Yeah. Like, because when they said like it was going to be in Portugal, I thought, oh shit, like we going to Lisbon? Nah.
You know what? Like this is actually like this should actually be like a Patreon special damn near because we giving out too much game right now. Like
Mm,
Ponte Delgado, like
mm,
I haven't seen not one brother talk about this. I've never heard of it until you mentioned it. So, and you got women out there that are friendly, cooperative.
hmm.
Man, we can't ruin it by, you know what I'm saying? I
That's
think
fact.
we ruining it now, but I mean it's not a big channel anyways. All right, so Matthew said lately I've traveled domestically, but looking to travel to Germany for my birthday in July, and maybe Mexico in late April. Hey,
Mm.
Matthew, I've had my eye on Mexico City for the last couple of weeks right now because it's not too far from me. Round trip ticket is like $200. The flight is, you know, not that long at all. I've heard some good things about Mexico City, so it's either there. My next trip is either there or Panama City, Panama. So, um, just real quick, I can go there. It's like a weekend thing, and then come right back. But I'm still doing research over there. Not too many brothers have been giving out information of Mexico City, but I might be headed down there also. Man Cup Studios 34. What's the Portuguese cuisine like, Sam?
Delicious. I really enjoyed it. That Southern European Mediterranean cuisine overall in Southern Europe is pretty freaking good. Like if you go to Greece, if you go to Spain, if you go to Italy, that Southern European food, it really hits home. It really does. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, how would you compare the food from there to the DR? Which one, like, which dishes were better?
That's tough because the Dominican food is really good. But I noticed Dominicans they use a lot of plantains with everything. So it's always like if you're eating rice and chicken, it's like there's plantains. If you're eating steak and fries, there's plantains. If you're eating fish and chips, there's plantains. I don't think I saw any plantains in Portugal because I guess Dominican Republic plantains is one of their main staples, right? But in Portugal, it's more of a Mediterranean diet. You know what I'm saying? So more olives, more hummus, more fish, more seafood, shellfish, shrimp, things of that nature. But the thing I noticed that's similar between Portuguese and Dominican cuisine, the portions are smaller than the United States in both places.
Right, right. And it's probably a good thing.
Oh yeah.
All right, so by the end of the night, you've exchanged contact information. Did you
Mm.
just go back to your hotel, or what do you do?
Yeah, exchange contact information with a couple American chicks, yeah, a couple of Portuguese chicks here and there, and then went back to the hotel. Yeah, it was a fun night. So I was exhausted. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was that, day 5?
Yeah, I think that was day 5. Yeah.
All right, so day 6, what do you get into?
Oh, so we went to the hot springs. So me and the guys from the wedding, we all linked up together with some of the girls, and we just went out to the hot springs. There's a hot spring you can visit. It's like the water is like golden yellow because of the natural how do you call it, the minerals that are in this hot spring. So the hot spring is actually called I actually wrote it down because I knew I was gonna forget it. Parca Terra Nostra. Parca Terra Nostra.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really nice hot spring, but the minerals and the silica and the algae, if you're wearing white swim trunks, it's gonna ruin your white swim trunks. So you get in that water, don't wear no white. It's gonna get ruined.
Okay. So wear dark colors.
Yes.
Was it packed?
Yeah, it was packed, man. Yeah, and it was a cloudy day with a little bit of rain, but still, it was packed with tourists, man. Yeah, it's a hot spot, literally a hot spring hot spot.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Go to the hot spring. What do you get into next after that?
Yeah, so we all went out to lunch, we're chilling, we're hanging out, and then we all linked up everyone from the wedding at a brewery because the bride's family is originally from the island. She has her relatives there. They actually own a brewery on the island, right outside
Wow.
Ponta Delgada. Yeah, so we all went to the brewery to, like, hang out, show our support, and a lot of folks were leaving, going back to the states or going to other places. So that was kind of the last night for most people. I was one of the few people who were staying for one or two more nights.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the brewery, like, uh, was it beer? Was it vodka? What was it?
It was beer. Yeah, yeah. Breweries, it's mostly beer. That's the main staple. I'm not much of a beer guy, but I said, you know what? Let me show support for the bride and her family. I'm on vacation. You got to show support. So, I got a little shot of something. Didn't really like the taste, but it is what it is. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah, that's right. Vodka's distillery. My bad.
Right, 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 right. Vodka's distillery, and the vineyard is wine, and brewery's beer. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really a beer guy. I mean, like, I guess MGD, Dos Equis is all right.
Mm.
Modelo's okay. But other than that, like, that's kind of a once every couple of years I'll get a beer or something like that. But you still participated, you know,
Yeah.
good sportsmanship,
Of course, of course. Yeah.
showing support.
Yeah, yeah. Any of you brothers who are into beer, you can check out this brewery. It's called Vulcan Brewery outside of Ponta Delgada. Yeah, really nice brewery. Makes you feel like you're back in the States a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, all right, that family must got a little bit of money then.
They paid for the whole wedding, so I think they do. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they paid for the whole wedding. Yeah.
Matthew said any wineries on the island?
There might be. You can look into it. I didn't really come across any in my research, but yeah, you could check online. You might find something.
Okay, that's what's up. He also said Guadalajara versus Mexico City is what I'm thinking. I know a guy that lives in Mexico City that used to be in NC that I got to reach out to. Yeah, I've heard some good about Guadalajara also. Yeah, it's either between the two, but I hear that Mexico City is like it's like people from all over the world that live there. So the
Mm.
presence of like the cartel and anybody, just having an issue with like any sort of violence or whatever, I think it's the safest city in Mexico is Mexico City, from what I've researched so far.
Cancun is good too.
Yes, Cancun is good. So, after you get your taste, do the taste test over there. What else do y'all do?
Yeah, we were just hanging out, like playing board games, just kicking it. It was a really chill night. You know what I mean? We're playing Django, freaking checkers, going out late to McDonald's, a bunch of Americans together. You already know how loud we were. It was fun. It was really nice night. Yeah. I really enjoyed those moments. It's one of those moments that you kind of just cherish to yourself and say, like, this is what life's all about. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I feel you. I feel you. So, hanging out with friends, and they left that night or that morning.
A bunch of people actually left that night or that morning. Yeah. I was one of the few people who was still sticking around for one or two more days.
Okay, so y'all hung out. Another night of hanging out. You go back to the hotel. That was the end of the night, right?
Yeah, that was the end of the night. I had my McDonald's, had something to drink, chilled, went back to the hotel. Yeah. On to the next day.
All right. So the next day, what happens the next day?
So the next day, I'm going out. I'm just walking around, doing sightseeing locally in Ponta Delgada. I didn't drive too far out that day. I was just kind of taking pictures, walking around, seeing sights. Yeah, I found actually a local cathedral that was near downtown. I can't remember the name of the cathedral, but it was open. You could go in as a tourist and walk around, walk through the cathedral, take pictures. It was a very nice monumental building. Yeah, very large steeple and had ornaments and jewelry and things like that inside. Yeah, it was a very lovely building, very cool structure. Yeah, made you feel like you were back in time in like the Middle Ages, Middle Ages Europe, like back in the day. Yeah,
Mm.
it was
And you
really
went
cool.
by yourself?
Yeah, just by myself, just me. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So, um, go to the cathedral, right? Where else do you go next?
I was just walking around, just taking pictures, just people watching, just, getting my cardio in. Yeah, my favorite form of cardio is just walking. So, like when I go to the gym, I'm doing strength training, conditioning. I'll do a little bit of cardio there, but my favorite cardio is just literally just walking outside, just natural vitamin D, just walking. So, yeah, it's a very walkable city too, Ponte Delgado. So, I was just walking, 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 just exploring, just looking around, taking pictures. And yeah, that was the end of the night. And then, it was like 11 o'clock. Then I went out. There were still a few of the Americans from the wedding party that were still in town. So we all linked up and we just went out downtown like around 11 p.m.
Okay. All right. So you're hanging out downtown. I'm guessing you bar hopping as well.
Yeah, we're bar hopping. It was so funny because it was like a group of us. So it was like three or four American guys and like the Portuguese chick from the cafe, the bad Portuguese from the cafe that was still trying to make a move on.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
the bride was there. A few of her friends were there, but her friends were ugly, so I wasn't paying attention to them. So it was a good group overall. It was a good group. So we're just going bar to bar, and it was crazy because like the American guys who were single, like they were like too, I guess, shy to like talk to any girls, go up to girls. So like I was the only guy in the group that was actually cold approaching chicks. And like the girls, in the group were watching me and they were like, "Oh my God, Sam, like you're a good wingman. Like, oh my God, you're so confident. How do you do that?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. They were watching literally as I was going up to chicks. It was crazy, and even the guys were impressed. Like, dang, Sam, like, how do you be doing that? I'm like, bro, like you just grit your teeth and do it. Like, it's not rocket science, really. Yeah, I'm nothing special either. I'm an average dude. I just try.
Right, right. You know, they're cooperative and receptive, then they are. If they reject, then it is what it is. Just move on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny because like some of the girls I would speak to, they didn't really speak English. So like they pull out their phone and we'd be doing Google Translate. So it was actually kind of funny. And then like, the Americans are just kind of watching me and like, oh my God, like, dang, like what's going on over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was crazy. And there was this one bad Portuguese chick I met. She was at a Ibiza club and she didn't speak any English, but I approached her. We're going back and forth, Google Translate. Then we got separated because I went back with my friends. I see her again. She's on the dance floor. She's throwing it back. I go over to her. I'm dancing with her. And then she said, "Oh, let's go outside." So we go outside and she has to smoke her cigarette. These European girls love to smoke, guys. So just so you know, if you're not used to that, if you're uncomfortable, they be smoking a lot of cigarettes, bro. They really do.
Damn,
Yeah,
damn.
so she was outside lighting up a cigarette and like she had some vodka in her hand. She was like, "Yeah, drink, drink, vodka, vodka, vodka." And I was drinking a sip. She's like, "It's okay, it's okay." Like, "Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Relax, shorty, relax. Like, it ain't nothing crazy going on." So, we're just going back and forth talking, Google Translate. And it was funny because one of the Portuguese chicks in our friend group, she could see like the girl didn't speak English. So she comes over, she's like, "Sam, do you want me to translate for you?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come over here. Come, come, come. Like, get over here. Come, get over here right now." So she comes over, she's translating, and like the girl's saying, like, "Oh yeah, he's very attractive. He's a sweet boy, but I'm still getting over a breakup. I don't know. I really like this boy, but this guy is Sam. He's so cool. Like he's beautiful and all this stuff." And I'm just like, dang, she's saying all that. She's like, "Yeah, she really likes you, man, but she's getting over a breakup." And it was so funny. Every time I said, "Okay, like, well, it was nice talking to you. I gotta go," literally every time I tried to turn around and leave, she would just start grabbing me and pulling me back in, start just rubbing all up on me. I'm like, "Girl, I gotta get back to my friends. Like, bro, this I could tell she wasn't like in the good frame of mind because she's still talking about, oh, I'm still trying to get over this dude. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna waste time here, girl. I gotta get back to my friends. Literally, Splash, I kid you not. She grabbed me back in, just keep holding me. I'm like, bro. And even my friends were watching, like, dang, Sam, she wouldn't let you leave. I was like, bro, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on with this chick. Yeah. So it was a fun night. It was very fun.
Okay, yeah. Some of those women, you just gonna have to, you know, let them get over it on their own.
Mhm.
They love to waste time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was cool that that other Portuguese kid came over to like translate because I was like, bro, like this Google Translate shit gets annoying. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Come over here. Come over here. Come. You're gonna make yourself useful. You're gonna provide value right now. Translate.
Right, right. All right, so um you guys are kicking it the night, it's getting later. What happens next?
That's it. That's the end of the night. We say our goodbyes. I go back to the hotel and I had to pack the next day. I left. That was my last weekend. I was out. Peace.
Okay, cool. So for anybody that's listening right now, if you want to, ask questions, you could type it or you could click that link to come up and talk to Sam and ask him some questions. So overall, it was a good week. Um, exchange contact information with women. Uh, you did receive cooperation. You did, do what adults do on
Yes.
woman. Those women that you did get their contact information with, like, are you still in contact with them to this day?
I am. Yeah. Even the ones that I didn't even get to meet, but we were still talking, I'm still in touch with them. Yeah.
Nice, nice. When do you plan on going back over there, if ever?
Yeah. So I'm really interested in going to the mainland. I think I really want to see what's on the mainland because I heard Lisbon's really good. The capital city, Lisbon's good. I heard Porto's good. Porto's the second largest city in Portugal, guys. And also, I heard Braga is also a good city to go to. So Braga is actually the third largest city in Portugal. And I also heard a city called Coimbra is also good too. So I believe Coimbra might be the fourth or fifth largest city in Portugal, if I recall correctly. But that's also a good place to visit too. Yeah. So I think next time, I mean, the island was great. I might stop there in the island for maybe 1, 2, 3 days, and then I'm headed to the mainland, bro. I got to see what's on the mainland because I'm thinking to myself, if I was getting that cooperation on the island, I can only imagine how the mainland's gonna be.
Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes, like them little small islands or them smaller towns, you get way more cooperation than the big city.
You
You
might
know,
be only one way to find out.
right? There's only one way to find out. I think there are, a handful of brothers that have done interviews, talked about their experiences in Portugal. I haven't looked them up yet. I've only seen like walking in Portugal in 4K videos, but I'm open to hear how people are treated in Portugal. Maurice
Yeah,
Brand
yeah.
said, Lisbon. Yeah, yeah, Lisbon. That's what we're talking about.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a really lovely country with so much to see. Yeah, the islands, the mainland, no matter where you go, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy what you see and experience. Yeah, I would strongly recommend Portugal to brothers. Yeah, I think it's great.
Do you know anybody that's been to Lisbon?
IP, the YouTuber IP, International Passport, he's been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, he liked it. He really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. It's not that far of a, compared to all these other countries, because that's what I'm looking for. Like, if Lisbon is that spot or somewhere in Spain is that spot, then that's on the list. Because, you know, Thailand, all these like 9 to 24-hour flights, I just don't want to do that anymore.
Mm,
I don't really have that much time to just waste. Like going to Thailand, you taking a day off of your vacation. So you gotta have you gotta that's 2 days right there of traveling.
right.
It's like, man, that's 2 days I could be doing something. So you go into the DR, it's not going to take a day to get there.
Nope.
It takes a
Nope.
couple of hours.
Yep.
Uh, Portugal, it takes a couple of hours.
Hmm.
So, but anyways, what's the next spot for you?
Still trying to figure it out, Splash. Yeah, just doing more research. Definitely gonna go back to Europe. Just trying to really decide which country and where to book the plane ticket. But yeah, I'm thinking of probably next trips back to Southern Europe, but maybe Spain, maybe Greece. We'll see what happens.
Okay. You had mentioned Ireland earlier. You thinking about traveling over there too?
I thought about it. Yeah, I hear Ireland is a very beautiful country with nice scenery. And yeah, I just wouldn't get used to driving on the opposite side of the road.
Right, right. I've been thinking about Europe also. I just don't know. Except like Turkey. I've had my mind set on Turkey. I got to at least go to Dubai and Qatar at least once. I
Mm,
think that's one of those spots like going over in that direction. You got to at least see it.
right.
I'm all Asianed out. I
Mm,
still want to travel over there, but it's like maybe a once, every couple of years type of thing.
yeah.
Um, Europe, I just don't know. I got family in Germany, but now I remember you did the we talked about Iceland that one time. I am open to traveling over there, but just to maybe for like a couple of days and leave.
Hmm.
Um, because with brothers with passports, we like to do two or three things at once.
Yeah.
Meet up with somebody nice, nice women, the scenery, meet up with friends, and do all that. I feel like Iceland is just the scenery for me. But man, I'm trying to look for something as close as possible that for no longer than like a 6 hour trip
Mm.
somewhere, and that's the perfect spot. That's what I want. So anywhere in South America, Central America, you think about traveling to?
Central America for sure. Yeah. Costa Rica, I've heard good things about. My buddy went to Costa Rica. He loved it. He said it was good. Very safe too. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about Costa Rica. Man, you want to know something like? Because I remember we was talking. You was telling me how like domestic violence is uh kind of like they kind of turn a blind eye to domestic violence in the DR.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they do. Yeah. The
So
men there run the show. The men run the show over there.
right. So like I had my eyes set on Panama. I found out Panama is like for the the R word cases. Panama's number 7 for the most like you know graping cases in the world. I was like, damn, I didn't know it was that high.
That doesn't surprise me, honestly, because with these like Hispanic countries, you see, it's not like the West where men kind of have to take a back seat, but in these countries, the men don't want to take a back seat at all. So what happens is sometimes, whether you want to admit it or not, men will abuse their power in some cases. Not all men, but it happens.
Right, right. It's crazy. Hey, what's going on, Matthew?
Not, not much, man. Just chilling.
Man. So you had a question for Sam?
Yeah. How long do you do that Instagram pregame to like try to find connections before your trip?
Typically 3 to 4 weeks before I get there.
All right.
Wow, I would imagine that I'd have thought like maybe a week, 3 to 4 weeks, because a lot of women they have like short attention spans, and
Yeah.
well, I guess it depends on which country.
Yeah, it depends which country, and then also like you could do a week in advance too. I don't think the time frame really matters that much. It's just as long as you have decent pictures and they can see what you look like, they can follow you, you can follow them. You can kind of see each other's posts, you can see each other's stories, then I guess over the days go on, then they can get used to, who you are, your personality, your vibe, what you do, so that by the time you guys meet up, they'll be quite comfortable. Because there's some girls, they're just not comfortable meeting strangers from the internet. So it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, I guess certain countries, you can, talk to them about a month out before you go.
Yeah.
Other countries like Thailand is all right, but the Philippines, nah.
Mm.
Nah, like the Philippines, man, if you're not there that day, it's just the conversation just fizzles out.
Mhm.
You gotta be there to hit up women on the internet to, kind of meet up with them. Definitely not 3 to 4 weeks out from then. But I definitely keep that in mind on a country like Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, good country to visit. I would strongly recommend it.
Right. So Matthew, when do you think about going to you said April, right?
Yeah, April, like 4 months from now.
Yeah, that's around the corner.
Yeah, because I got a buddy that I hadn't seen in like a decade and a half, and he's moving to Phoenix. So I figured maybe I could fly to Phoenix to Mexico, Mexico back home.
What did he say about Mexico?
Uh my one this is different friend. My one guy that I know that I used to chill with in Greensboro. He's originally from Mexico, and he had to go back down there, but he's been down there for like 10 years. He's also in IT. He loves it down there though. It's just so many people. I mean, it's like what, double the population in New York City?
Yeah, it's a lot. You said it's pretty safe down there.
Yeah, he said it's pretty safe down there.
See, like I'm trying to get information about Mexico City from somebody black, and I haven't really
No,
found that
because
yet.
the only two dudes that I know online that seem to talk about Mexico is QB and what's the other dude's name? It's like Joshua Hall, I think. But no, they don't really talk about Mexico City too much.
Yeah, salute to QB. He was in the chat here last week when Sam was talking about the DR.
Yeah. All right. Word. I gotta listen in on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his interview with this one white guy who lived in Mexico City, but as far as like a number of black people talking about Mexico City, I haven't really heard it.
Yeah.
That's still not going to turn me away from MC like that, but I just like to get some info before I head on down there.
Actually, if I recall, I think like a year ago, there was what is that dude's name? He's also small channel, and he's in his like 40s. Black Man Travels.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He did a long episode on Mexico City, and those dudes are like they're about my age. They're a little bit older than me, so they're like mid 40s, and I they talked a lot. I hadn't listened to that episode in a long time though.
Right. But they said positive things about it.
Yeah, they said positive things about it. And plus with those dudes, I like that they don't it's also hard to find the perspective because they don't stay at the cheapest place. Like they stay in like a safe more younger, youthful area.
Oh, okay.
So like that's the thing. Like Mexico City's so freaking huge. So like even when I've started to do my research just now, I'm like, man, that's a whole nother animal. Like how many neighborhoods are there? Like what neighborhood to choose and stuff. So I need to hit up my friend. We're still Facebook friends, but I barely use Facebook. I'll hit him up on LinkedIn because he's always on LinkedIn.
Yeah, see, like the square mileage of Mexico City, the last time I looked at it, it was like, because I always said that square mileage wise in America, Houston, Houston and
Oh yeah,
Dallas were like,
Houston's so spread out.
yeah, but Mexico City, it was like from what I remember, because I'm looking it up right now. All right, let me see. Man, I think it's This can't be it. All right, so the capital mega city, it's about 1,485 square kilometers, which is like 300 kilometers smaller than Houston. But metro is 7,866 square kilometers. So that's crazy. In that one interview with QB and that one guy he was interviewing, he was talking about how like, man, pretty much like everybody from around the world, you'll see people from all over the world
Yeah.
living in Mexico City. So he said it was like a huge Jewish community down there.
I'm not surprised. The president of Mexico is Jewish.
Right. So yeah, it's diverse. You know,
Okay.
the type of people from different cultures he was talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, yeah. I got way more information on Panama City than Mexico City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to date a chick that was her dad was from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she loved Panama City.
How was she?
She was cool. She was half Swedish, half Panamanian.
Oh, Swedish. Ah, interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, she was super tall.
How long did that last?
We dated for about a year in Alabama.
Oh,
Yeah, when I lived down in Alabama for a hot minute.
you think she's more westernized or she
Oh
like
yeah. Well, when we were dating, it took a minute for it to become serious instead of just kind of like friends, benefits type relationship. Then we started dating, and then really when marriage came up, she was still kind of on the fence. Down the road, what ended up happening was we broke up. Well, she broke up with me and stuff like that. But it was Alabama, so it was like an easy place to date down there. But she told me like years later it was because her dad was racist.
Oh, okay.
But it's because I met her parents and stuff. I thought her parents were super cool and stuff, but I guess they were hiding it.
Right. She just wanted to be with they want her to be with somebody of a quote unquote own kind.
Yep. Yep. So she eventually went that route, but she was never happy. So that's one of those reach back ladies that still stalks me online today, even though I don't follow her on anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I imagine like if she was living in Panama and her family was like both Panamanian, it might have
Yeah.
been different because you bringing
Mhm.
money down there. It's like they might have been more open minded about it.
Yeah.
But I've seen a few channels from brothers who they was like, you know, they go down there like every other month. They got them somebody solid. They was like, man, I'll never date anybody back home in America. I've been with
Hmm.
this chick down here for a couple of years now, and you know, I didn't even really have to try that hard to meet her. She's real nice, and I've heard a lot of good things down there.
Yeah.
International Passport went there too. He loved it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head on over there. See, holiday season for me, you know, I figured out that it's up and down. You know, when they need you, they really need you. But from October to January, man, I've had to sit down at home for like 5 or 6 different weeks. So after I probably got to sit down again on Friday at
Hmm.
home. So then it's like I can, you know, schedule my vacation afterwards. So I want to go to Panama City like either late January or like mid-February. So, but now this time I'm actually going to travel somewhere because my mind was set on traveling somewhere in Asia, but that's hard to do with the work that I do. But
Yeah.
for Panama, what is that, like a 4 to 6 hour flight? Yeah, I
Hmm.
could do that easy.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do some more trips that aren't that far. Like, there's stuff I want to do hopping across the Atlantic and everything, but then I do have to take a couple days of vacation, even if I'm taking my computer with me.
Right,
But
right.
if I can stay, like, you know, Central America, South America, stuff like that. I mean, the time zone's not too crazy, so I could still work and then play, but
Right.
not have to use so many days since they like took away our like unlimited time off and they restructured how our time off is. But it's fine. I still got a bunch of days.
See, a lot of people they don't know how stressful that is to fly that far. You know, it's hard on the body. Like, you know, when you're doing something locally, you got your backpack on.
Hmm.
It's nothing, but when you travel overseas with a backpack, it's like your shoulders hurt, your traps hurt, you know,
Oh,
and it's like I don't know, traveling it's more stressful, even though it might not be as mentally as stressful, but it's hard on the body for whatever reason, and it's
yeah.
very uncomfortable. It's just those trips across the Pacific, across the Atlantic. It's like, man, I only want to do that maybe once every other year.
Hmm.
But you know, discovering somewhere in Central or South America, I could do that.
Yeah.
Now, I changed my mind on Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like I still tell guys like, hey, you know, go to Vancouver, you know, to enjoy the ambiance and everything like that. But man, like I've been coming up here, you know, every week straight for about a year and a half now. And I just got to change my mind on Canada. It's changed a lot. So, you know, as far as anybody looking to come up here or take their vacation time off to come up here, I'm gonna have to say, hey man, don't even worry about it. Don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your money. You know, go someplace like, you know, Sam and I talked about the DR, go to the DR. You
Okay.
know, go to Central South America, you know, go someplace in Europe, you know, Spain or whatever. But I tell people, hey man, like, don't even waste your time in Canada no more.
Mm.
Sweden,
Especially what a
good too.
lot of brothers are saying, what they're looking for. Don't even waste your time in Canada.
Yeah. Mm.
What were you saying, Sam?
No, I said it. Yeah, if you're going to Europe, Sweden's pretty good too.
Did we talk about Sweden before? No.
Norway.
Oh,
Norway. No, we talked about Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland, and then we talked about Norway before that, like a couple months before that.
I don't remember. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember you went to you showed pictures
Yeah,
of Norway. I remember that.
what time of the year
Yeah.
did you go to Iceland?
I went in September. Yeah,
Yep.
so you definitely want to go like between May, June, July, August, and September, because the rest of the year it's cold and it's snowing like crazy, and it's really difficult to drive on the roads when it's like that. Like it's bad. Like even the locals don't even like to drive when it's snow season. So yeah.
Mm, man. Gotta look for another destination.
Yeah.
So, so Sam, like, what's you said? Yeah, you said like more Eastern Europe, right?
I've never been to Eastern Europe. I mean, I've done research. I would say Eastern Europe definitely has countries where women are more traditional. I met a lot of Eastern European chicks when I was in Sweden. Yeah, a lot of girls from Russia, Ukraine, Serbia. They're probably the most feminine women I'd met in Europe, as opposed to like Swedish and Norwegian, Scandinavian chicks in general. It's just a like night and day, complete difference. Scandinavian chicks are definitely more left wing liberal feminists, but these Eastern European girls, they're definitely more family oriented, more conservative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to meet women where like they're lax on the domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Like those women, it's like they're soft spoken, but they just have to get comfortable around you. You know what I'm saying? You might bring them into the kitchen, reach for a plate or something, and then they flinch because they think they're gonna get hit. You know, those kind of women. You gotta, it's like, no, it's okay. I'm it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Right. So the women with a like the country with the women, they kind of gotta watch their tone when they talk to a man. Those are probably the perfect spots right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russian chicks will definitely have that. There's a lot of domestic violence in Russia.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I personally never met a Russian or Ukrainian that I liked or I found attractive, but you know, but I've heard some people talk about them.
Yeah. No, they're pretty gorgeous, man. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't meet a good-looking one. Yeah.
No, I haven't. I
Hmm.
really haven't. Like I met some of them they were cool. It's just they weren't to my liking. It just, my preference. I didn't like them, and I can't stand the accent. It's just,
It's strong.
yeah, it's just that's just not for me. It's like, you know, certain countries, they accents kind of cute. Like a Thai accent is, it's kind of cute. Certain Asian accents,
Mm.
Korean, it's cute. But like that Eastern Europe, that hard,
Yeah, it's hard. That
you know,
The Slavic language is hard.
yeah, South African. Oh hell no.
Blue, blue, blue.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, text me everything you're gonna say. Don't even talk to me. Don't use words out of your mouth to talk to me. Just text it to me, even if you right there. I can't stand that accent. Or like East Indian or Sri Lankan. It's just I'm good. I don't hate nobody. It's just I can't listen to that all day.
Yeah,
You
I hear you.
When I'm on YouTube and I need to look up something and somebody shows up with like a Russian or Eastern Europe accent or East Indian accent or a South African accent, I turn it off and move over to the next video.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. If you ever make it to like Eastern Europe splash, there's a lot of Ukrainians that got displaced because of the war. A lot of them were in Sweden too. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maurice Branch said Croatia. I met a Croatian chick. She was cool, but once again, that accent, it was she sounded like Count Dracula.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I met a Croatian too, actually. She did sound like Dracula, but I got over it. Yeah, she was cool.
A buddy's ex-wife was from Transylvania. Yeah.
Bloodsucker.
Well, and
Yeah,
man,
man.
her attitude, she was the worst.
Oh yeah, yeah. You might find that anywhere.
Mm.
Women and their attitude. Man, I can't think of anywhere else to go. It's just you talking about going to Germany in July, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta ended up going out there as well. I got some cousins and some family I haven't met out there that I've been in contact with.
Because booking the trip, I did book a Germany trip last like winter towards like beginning of winter, but to see a couple metal shows, but they got canceled, weather and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, this isn't ideal time to travel.
You going to Berlin?
Nah, I was gonna go to what was that place? Near
Munich?
Bonn, where like Beethoven's from. Uh,
Frankfurt?
nah, like Western
Stuttgart?
Germany. Nah, it was what's that?
Hamburg?
It was Bonn, Bonn, and what's the other city next to it? It's not too far from the Nürburgring where I'm going in July.
Hmm.
Near the southwest Germany,
Yeah.
where the Green Hell is. So
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, see, Germany is big enough to where it's like you can pretty much find what it is that you're looking for. So if you want to be close to the military base, there's a city for that. If you want to be away from the military base, there's a city for that.
yeah,
You
because
want to be on the
RDU
countryside.
RDU in North Carolina expanded, so it's the runway's been extended. The whole area's getting built up right now, still as we speak. So now there's a direct flight to Frankfurt from here.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. You still in the Carolinas, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. See, how many hours is that? That's kind of a long flight. Like what, 9 hours?
yeah. It was something like that. 10, 9,
Yeah.
10 hours.
I used to live out there. Shout out to the Carolinas.
Yeah. Hey, I used to go to school in Boston.
Whoa, wait, Northeastern BU?
I was across the street, Wentworth Institute of Technology.
Oh shit. Yo, yeah, that's a really good school. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I used to live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, because I'm near Chapel Hill now, so that's like an hour and a half west.
Chapel Hill.
Yeah. Yep. Belichick is down here coaching football now.
Yeah, that's wild. Shout out to UNC.
Yeah.
What do you like? I've heard a lot of people, different people along the way, talk about Germany.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The people that y'all know, what have they said about Germany? Black men.
All good things, nothing negative I've heard.
Yeah.
Nothing negative, yeah. All I've heard has been really positive. So I'm even thinking of going there maybe. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess the only
Supposed to be
negative
like
thing
a
is just the food.
Yeah, my pops goes to Germany like once a year at least, because with his I think one of their factories for like pharmaceutical developments out there, he said the food's horrible. He hates the food there.
Mm,
Yeah.
a lot of sausage.
Yeah, a lot of sausage and stuff, but and he tries to eat like they go to all the fancy places and try to eat more traditionally. He hates eating out there, but the
Mm,
people are supposed to be, if you're there for a few days, everybody that I've ever listened to, they seem to enjoy it. It the only thing that I ever hear really is like if you were trying to lock down something long term, they're more modern there. So it's like now that would be challenging.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what happened to my uncle because he's been there since he's been there for like 50 years. He said,
Mm,
because he went out there in the 70s in the military. He never left.
Yeah.
So he
But
told me that like they don't really give him, he still doesn't have permanent residency. It's like
yeah.
now he has a visa where like it lasts 10 years. So he has to
Mhm.
renew every 10 years,
Okay.
but he's not like a resident still. He knows German. He said that things has gotten better with like, people and racism over the years.
Hmm.
Even him, like he had 3 kids, all daughters. Wife left him. He hasn't remarried ever since. Um, he was telling me about one of his daughters, like, don't even want to speak to him no more because, the mother kind of turned, turn her against him.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
So it's like seeing how, his situation turned out and what he said is like, yeah, it kind of aligns with what you were saying.
Yeah. My my late granddad on my dad's side, he was stationed in Germany back in maybe the 80s, and he married a woman from there. But I know that they had like 2 sons. But yeah, it didn't. That
Same
relationship
thing.
didn't last.
Yeah, same thing. That's what I've been hearing. Damn, did Sam drop out?
Yeah, I think Sam just drop?
It said device not connected.
No,
There
I'm
you
still
go.
here. No, I'm still here.
Nah, like it showed that your device or something, it dropped out for a minute. But yeah, it seemed like Germany, you just go there, have your fun,
Yeah, it seems like the
hook
place
up.
to go and have fun for
Yeah,
sure.
just hook up. And there's some places where some guys are like, hey man, I want something long term. And there's some places like, nah, you don't go there for that.
Yeah.
So might have to do a whole show talking about that. But I would have to ask questions,
Yeah.
you know.
In Germany's another big spread out place, and it seems all the cities have their own personality and things like that too. So I'll be in the southwestern side this year
Hmm.
because I think Berlin is like 3 hours from where I'll be, so I won't be doing that.
No city hopping.
I'll city hop between like Bonn, Cologne, because that's where I was gonna go last year. Because I want
Mhm.
to go to like where Beethoven's house museum is and all the art. There's a lot of art stuff to do, and then uh, I just want to hit up like Stuttgart because I'm a car maniac. As long as I stop spending money on my cars, I can travel more places.
Let me guess. BMW.
Uh, I used to have a BMW, but now I got a Shelby GT350 with over 700 horsepower.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just bought a BMW recently, a motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once had a BMW bike, but it was like one of those old ones from the '60s.
Nice. What, the Heritage?
It was like a R60.
Oh, okay. The R series. Yeah.
Yeah,
I usually only ride adventure bikes, a little bit of on road and off road,
yeah.
you know. You know, safer to ride out here than Thailand, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anytime I see those walking vids, I'm like, this is a scary place
I used to drive
to
in that.
cross the street. Yeah.
And on top of that, like the summertime, well, yeah, summertime is like monsoon season.
Yep.
So I used to ride with like the water up to my calf.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
There's
drainage
one guy.
system is
There's one
horrible.
guy in. There's one guy in Thailand that I follow because he does all the car stuff and traveling around. He has a scooter and like monsoon season, and he had to stop off like every now and then to get underneath those shelters.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. The those bridges.
Yep.
Yeah, their drainage system is crazy. And then like when the water goes down the next day, it's like all the monitor lizards and snakes in the road and snails and rats. It's just
Ugh.
it's a jungle for real riding around in Thailand. Like that's like that's like gladiator school for riding motorbikes and scooters. It's Thailand.
Mm.
You know.
Trenches.
Oh yeah. And then, over here they talk about gear. They really sell gear in America for people who ride motorcycles. You don't see nobody wearing gear in Thailand, Taiwan, nobody. China, you never see anybody wearing gear. And like it just looks crazy being in two different worlds. It's just nobody wearing a helmet in Thailand. People got like their whole family on one scooter.
Heck, even America, when I see people on those scooters in like Charlotte flying down 15 miles an hour with no helmet on, I'm like, nope, nope, not me. A helmet has saved me a couple times. I don't play.
Yeah. Now they got the Alpine Stars. They made the airbag vest.
Oh wow.
It's like it's AI generated, so it can determine like if you're in a crash or you about to go down, it just knows when to deploy, because they were testing out like the airbags that you connect to the bike. So once it disconnects, it goes off. But they said, like, well, what if you're off-roading and you fall, but you're still on the bike, or you get rear-ended, right? And it doesn't, like, that cord doesn't snap from the bike. It's not going to deploy. So they made this AI generated airbag, and it's like $1,000. And people on the internet, they're like, man, I'll never go out on the road without it.
Wow.
Like, this airbag system thing is like, now they got airbag jeans, airbag vest. So it's see, once you buy a motorcycle, it gets even more expensive if you're into safety. Like, the helmet is like $500-600.
Yep.
The vest is $1,000. The jeans are $800. The boots are like $250. The gloves are $250. Like, it's the insurance to cover yourself fully. It gets expensive. So you drop 15 grand on a bike. Nah, you still got a ways to go.
Oh yeah, you'll have like $5,000 worth of gear, because then when it gets hot, you got to have like the textile stuff so you can still breathe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even like the traveling cases are expensive. I was at the dealership. I was like, hey, how much those traveling cases cost? They're like, hey, you want the one on the back too, or just the two on the sides? I'm like, nah, just the two on the sides. Man, they quoted me like $1,700 for that. I was like, what? So their GPS, BMW GPS is like $900. It's like, it's crazy.
And knowing BMW, they probably a subscription service.
Yep.
To keep it going. 900s just to get started.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, so Sam, Matthew, y'all have any final words y'all want to give to everybody? Hello? Any final words before we get up out of here?
Just get out there and travel more. I want to hear from some other people. I want to hear we need more experiences to be shared.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, any final words? He left.
No, I'm still here. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, any final words?
Oh, yeah, guys. So check out Portugal, guys. It's a beautiful country, beautiful women, beautiful sights to see. Trust me, you won't regret it. So take a trip out there. You'll have a good time.
That's what's up. Yeah, we got to schedule Sweden, right?
Yeah. If you guys want to hear about Sweden, we can definitely schedule that. Yeah, Sweden was a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So we'll probably maybe this weekend. I think they're gonna sit me down this weekend. So maybe this weekend, if you got time, we'll talk on Instagram. So yeah, everybody, hey man, like, subscribe, share this video. If you want to talk about your experiences, also reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram. You can reach out to me here on Facebook. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.